Hi everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I thought it'd be fun to play this game. It's called Mini Metro. Basically in this game you design little metro lines and try to get passengers to where they want to go. So let's see. So let's start with London. See, perfect. Okay. So let's see. Let's just take square to circle. You see here it has this little bridge that is, there's only going to be a certain amount. Like down here we have two. Okay, let's take this line and drag it out. And let's see. We also have like another line we can do. Although circle to circle is not necessarily the best. Let's do circle to square. And then we can also speed it up a little bit too. Let's see. Alright, now we have triangle. So let's go ahead and do something like that. See here at the bottom we have 3 different color lines. Yellow, red, and blue. Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and let's try. I have one bridge left. So we can do that and see if that works. Let's just go ahead and drag that one down. And then we just wait until we have enough passengers. Well, actually, you play until it's not like endless. You reach little levels. Let's see, is there any way to get that? Perfect. Okay, so now week 2, we have a new locomotive for your metro. So basically, that means we can get some of these too. So let's see, week 2, what new asset would you like for your metro? We can either get another line, which is like another color, or we can get another carriage. So let's see. Let's do another line. Sometimes the carriages are nice. We can also make them circles. Kind of messed up a little bit here. Just trying to show you guys how it works rather than trying to maybe optimize. Let's see, is there anything we can make into a line? Nope. Oops, we can do this. That's the other thing you can do. You can pick up the trains and add them to other lines. So if we would have picked the other carriage, wait, I think no, we don't have an extra locomotive. But if we did, we could do that. See, now we're getting more complex shapes. We don't just have certain things. So now people are going to have to go to other places. So let's see. But now we have this. London's kind of hard because they have like a big river. So it's kind of difficult to figure this out. Let's do this really quick. Let's pause and just basically delete all these lines and see if we can't fix it. Okay, so let's do something like this. See, this is hard over here because they're all circles, so it's kind of difficult. We only have one bridge though, which is the other thing that is kind of annoying. It's not going to work that way. But it hasn't run yet, so it won't let me delete it. Let's see. Don't do this. Let's do that. And that. And then let's do straight to the triangle. And then in here we'll have sort of like a line that just goes. See, that's annoying. Can you not reach that? Okay, I guess not. So let's try. Can't go back to the same place. That needs one too. Let's see if this will work. And we can do something like that too, where they just go straight to that. Let's see if this will work. This might not work. We might have to. Oh, here we go. Perfect. More tunnels, please, because that makes life insanely easier. Let's try that. Well, I don't really want to make that line longer. I guess I can make it a circle and now. Let's do something like inner, maybe a circle. Okay, perfect. Another little. Can't tell if that's in real life or in the game. That there is a truck noise. Might be outside my house. It is garbage day. So if you can hear that, I apologize. Alright, perfect. Another little circle over here. A lot of circles in this one. Let me see. Do I get another line or have I used them all? Do another locomotive. So maybe we send it going the other direction. Although there's like a ton in here because this is basically the station that everybody has to pick up on. This is the hard one because this has to basically be like, there's not a ton of lines coming out of here just because that's across the river. Do I have any? No, I don't have any more. Carriages. See this? There's like so many people waiting for this. Let's see if this guy can pick up before we run out of time. Let's see if it'll help out. I think it will because, yeah, there we go. So let's see, a bunch of triangles have to go to that one. Let me pause really quick. Okay, the trash truck is finally gone. He takes his sweet time. Oh, we live on a cul-de-sac, so it's kind of one of those things where he has like 6 trash cans to take out. So let's see. Hopefully, I don't know if it's every 100, if like every 100 passengers, or if it's every day. Yeah, it's every day. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a carriage because let's do that on this line, one of the bigger lines, and then I also have an extra locomotive. Let's put it on the red line. I think that'll help the most. So, but yeah, we live on a cul-de-sac, so there's like, a bunch of houses all in one area, and he has to stop and pick up all their stuff. And I don't know if that was the recycling man or the garbage man, probably the garbage man, because there's more people that do garbage, obviously, than recycling. Not everyone does recycling on my street, so there is that. But yeah, we're doing okay. We're doing all right. I think my high score, it said, was about 1200. Right now we're only at 322. I don't think we're gonna make it to 1200. But let's see. There's just like, because some of this is, I don't think the dots, like the shapes, the triangle, the square, the cross, they spawn in different spots. So some of them are like, it's different every time. So it's like orangey, so you don't always get the same thing. So I think if I do this, it makes it a bigger station, so people can, they'll be happier to stay there, I guess. Let me see, can I lock this in? Let me add in this one to that. Actually, let's add the yellow line to that one too. See, now we start to get stuff like a pentagon, a pentagon, and another circle, a circle. Oh, this one. Let's see if we can't get. See, it's hard because, yeah, I don't think we're gonna do it. Let's see though. I need more carriages. I probably also didn't quite do this the way that it should have done. I might also turn off the sound. I don't know how loud that is and how annoying that is. Oops. Yeah, I think we're gonna, this might be the end of the road because I can't get that. Okay, that's okay. So let's go ahead and go back to the menu. And I think on here, let's go back one. They have what they do, daily challenges. So this would be a different map every day. So let's see. Today is Soul Mode Extreme. Time left is 7 hours. So let's see. that's a little loud. So hopefully that's not too loud for you. Let's see. So we have a triangle, 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 a square, a square, a square, and a circle, circle, circle. And we have a little blue line, a green line, and oh, that is interesting. Okay, lines are permanent, and I only have one bridge. Let's not go triangle to triangle. Let's go triangle to square, and see if that helps. Also, I apologize if I sniff because I think I said this earlier in one of my other videos. The pollen in Georgia is next level this year. It's horrible. It's super, super bad this year, and I feel like it just gets worse. We also moved and then moved back to Georgia, and sometimes I feel like that makes it worse when you move out of an area and then come back to an area. So that's not fun. But I'm gonna try and not sniffle. I need to get some Allegra. I think I'm gonna get is the medication that it does not make you drowsy because Benadryl, man, I will be on the floor if I take Benadryl. I literally will take it and like 45 minutes later I'm asleep. So I'm really hoping that I don't have to take that. It's like my last ditch effort. So yeah, but try not to do that. Let's see. Okay, another circle. Okay. I don't really want to add another circle to that line, so I can't. Oh, okay, well, that's interesting. Is it gonna give me another line? How am I supposed to do this? Maybe the daily challenges are for me. As you can see, I'm not an extreme mini metro player, so I might just kind of out of luck because I don't have a line. That's really difficult because I also don't have any bridges either. So I think at the end of Sunday you get another line. Okay, locomotive. Well, I need more tunnels. Okay, well, let's not play that one because this one, not it. Yeah, bottom 10th percent. I could tell you that. So let's not do the daily challenges. Those are a little too difficult. I think if I scroll, yeah, there's some that I have not completed yet. So to get to Lisbon, we need to get 300 passengers in Warsaw, and I haven't played Warsaw, so let's go ahead and play in Warsaw. Okay, perfect. Let's get a nice teal line. We have square, triangle, and a circle. This kind of reminds me, I don't know if any of you watch Love on the Spectrum, but there's a woman on there. Her name's Perry, and I think she lives in Boston, which that's where the T is, the T train, and that's like her special interest is trains and specifically the T line, and so she talks about it, and she's very, very passionate about trains, which I think is just really, it's really sweet. She's just like one of those people that just seems so sweet and so nice. I really like that show. My husband and I watched it when it first came out. We've watched, I think, all the seasons because there's 3 seasons. I think this is the 3rd season. So there's also an Australian version because the people who make the show are Australian. And I think the original one they did was in Australia, and then they brought it to the US. And I don't know if maybe Netflix prefers for them to shoot in the United States. I don't know if maybe that one does better or what, but regardless, we always really like it. It's just one of those shows that they just speak their truth, you know what I mean? Like, they just don't ever they just are who they are, like, unapologetically in a lot of ways, which I really like watching. I think that it's very refreshing to see people who are just who they are, and they like what they like, and that is what it is, you know? necessarily shocked, but it's still not fun to watch. Every time you see it, you're like, oh, well, that's depressing, and definitely not necessarily what you want to be watching right before you go to sleep. So we watched it, and then I basically had to sit on my phone for a while and watch some happy fun shows and things by myself. My husband sleeps like a rock. My husband can literally like sleep through anything, so he wasn't as perturbed by it as I was. But yeah, I think I have talked about this before on my channel, but we used to be really, really big movie people and TV show people, and then we had a daughter, and it just didn't fit into our schedule for a long time watching TV. But now that my daughter is a little bit older, it definitely makes life a lot easier. She sleeps so much better. She just is able to entertain herself a lot more. So, it's something that we can. People also, I feel like, are much more willing to watch a 15-month-old than a, an infant. So, definitely makes life a lot easier. Let's get some more tunnels because I think we're gonna need them soon. Let's go ahead and do this. Actually, already make this teal line a little longer. But yeah, definitely. So if you have any movie or TV show suggestions that you think, somebody should watch, then go ahead and drop them in the comments. I think one show that I would like to watch is Lost. We started Lost, and then my husband got a new job, and we ended up moving. And so, like with how hectic it was moving, we just kind of stopped watching. But I would like to start watching it again. That's one of those shows that like is a cultural phenomenon. It's also like one of those things where I feel like it is maybe like I feel like it's kind of having like a renaissance. Like I feel like a lot of people recently have been talking about it, or I see like a bunch of video essay, like long form content. People watch it, so let's go ahead and get another line because we're starting to get a little crazy over here. Let's see if I can do this. Make like a little sideline over here. Let's go ahead and drag that one up. I don't have any more tunnels. Oh, I do have another locomotive though. I've lost my mouse. Here it is. That's the other thing when you're filming with a big microphone in front of you. It's kind of hard to see where your mouse is sometimes. But yeah, definitely drop TV shows in the comments. I definitely want to watch Lost. We're not like super into reality TV. We do watch a little bit, like I said, Love on the Spectrum. We watched that, which I guess you could classify as reality TV. I'm trying to think of any other reality TV that we watched. I don't really think I have watched any. I had a brief, I watched one season of The Bachelor because, so when I was in college, I did the Disney College program, which is basically like an internship where you spend a few months working for Disney World, and so I worked there, and my roommate was very into The Bachelor, and so she wanted to know if I would watch it with her, and so I said yes. And she ended up having to work the night shift, and I would work the morning shift. So we didn't spend a ton of time together. Just with how the program works, you're basically kind of pretty involved at work. You pretty much work all day, and they can work you like in a pay period, so you could technically be working 10 days in a row, but you're not actually working 10 days in a row. Does that make sense? So was kind of one of those things where we just didn't really see each other very often. She worked somewhere really busy. I worked somewhere really busy, so it just didn't work. But regardless, I watched the show and probably more than her, and I got really into that season. It was the season with Nick, and I can't remember who he ended up going with. I remember one girl named Raven, but he wasn't the one that she went with. Regardless, it was that season, and I remember being like, "This guy is the worst. I do not like him. I don't know why people like him," and I still kind of feel that way, to be quite frank. He's just not for me, I guess, which is fine. Everybody has their own preferences, but yeah. So I don't really watch a ton of it, but all this to say, I don't watch it anymore. So I don't really have a like. That's the only show I know. That's the only season that I know of. I'm trying to think of any other shows that we've watched that we really liked. We do like more action-y kind of shows. My favorite show is Parks and Rec. I love Parks and Rec. I haven't watched it in so long, and I try to get my husband to watch it, and he just doesn't get it. I also have never watched The Office. I just never got into it in college, even though like so many people love it. Or like a Criminal Minds. Like I never watched that either. There's like a ton of shows that I just never ever got into. That so many of my friends love. Like I have a friend who's like obsessed with Criminal Minds and like would watch it every single day, all the time. And I just have never really had a show like that I just feel the need to watch all the time. But maybe that's just me. I think a lot of people are like that, where they kind of have a show that they watch all the time and could watch over and over and over again. I don't think I'm like, it's kind of like with books too. Like I don't reread books either. Once I'm done with a book, it's dead to me. Like I'm never ever gonna read it again, unless like it's part of a series and I haven't read it in a long time. Like I think I've read parts of Game of Thrones. Like I've read Game of Thrones a few times, but like really, it's not. I'm just not a person that rewatches content. Like once I like read something or watch something, it's like a lockbox in my head. Like I just remember what happens, and so to me, it doesn't work. All right, we might be done, my friends, with this level. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're done. Nope, I don't think we're gonna make it. That's alright. Okay. So that is done. And with that, I think I'm gonna end it here. But we did beat Warsaw, so that means we have made it into Lisbon. So that's super fun. So thank you all for watching.